Why, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's the 27th of March. It's 10 to 2 on a Thursday afternoon. What's going on? Well, if you didn't know, Nintendo are doing a Direct today, which they stealthily announced yesterday. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're a first-time viewer, I am the Jeraffemy Jeremy Graves. I am flying solo, as it were, to do a watch-along of the Nintendo Direct March 2025 edition, as I am phrasing it. Also, first of all, Matty Boo, thank you very much. I saw the notification before we went live there. Admittedly, my activity feed is not updated properly, so I can't exactly see what you did, but I very much appreciate it. So yes, there is a Nintendo Direct, nothing Switch 2 related, that has been made abundantly clear, zero information relating to the Switch 2, because that is next week. You subbed with Prime. Matty, you are a gem, thank you very much. But what this does give me an opportunity to say is the timer. You can see the video is live. We have 10 minutes until the stream begins, folks. But this is also a very good time to remind both myself and folks watching that there's also a Nintendo Direct next week. Because as you can see, the live watch along today, the new marker, as you can see there, but Wednesday next week, there is of course the Switch 2 presentation Nintendo Direct, which I know we are all very much interested in. The one today that we're going to be watching, which we've got no idea what's going to be announced during it, very much focusing on Switch 1, just for the sake of argument and naming. Focusing on Switch 1 games, I'm going to assume it's going to be updates on things that were previously announced, like... He says, for example, like the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 that got announced, there might be another little update relating to that, hypothetically, as an example. I don't know anything, that's just me speculating. But chances are we'll be getting some updates on games that'll be coming out, one assumes, prior to the Switch 2 launch, because there must be a little bit of a gap. There's still the Metroid game that was announced. It may have even been on the last proper Nintendo Direct, like circa August time last year, if memory serves. So, chances are we'll be getting a bunch of updates. There might be a few surprises, like there normally are in these Nintendo Directs, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this all unfolds accordingly, because I do like reacting to these. These are just very, very good fun. But yes, that is the forthcoming streaming schedule here on this channel. As you can see, this Friday, tomorrow actually, because I feel like it's Wednesday, but it's not. Tomorrow I will be back with Felflowne continuing Ace Attorney 2 Case 3. We're also planning to, time depending and such, we're going to actually rewatch the original Nintendo Switch announcement presentation stream that happened in Japan, because just kind of like it'd be a good thing to actually kind of go back and look at and see how they originally announced it, and then we can compare that to how they do Switch 2. Hello, Mothfox. Welcome to you. You want a Golden Sun remake, do you? You never know. Put it this way, Nintendo have had so many things just kind of kept in the bag that they've not announced for just ever, and then suddenly just shadow drop things. It wouldn't surprise me. There was that Fire Emblem game, I can't remember which one it was called, but the one from like a year or two ago, which seemingly had been ready to go for a year based on various reports. So it is all good fun when that occurs. But yes, like I say, tomorrow night back with Felflowne doing Ace Attorney 2 Case 3. Wednesday next week, we'll be doing a reaction, a live watch-along reaction, I should say, to the Nintendo Direct Switch 2 presentation. As things stand, will be me and Felflowne, but it may depend on how work things go as to whether Felf can join me or not. But either way, we'll be here in some form or fashion. And then, of course, Friday next week, we will continue once again with Ace Attorney 2 Case 3. No doubt, as well as some additional reactions in the Just Chatting bit at the beginning of the show, or perhaps towards the end, we'll see. In what we thought of the Switch 2 and other info that's come out since then, we shall see accordingly. But with 6 minutes 56 seconds on the clock, we've got a little bit of a countdown timer here. In terms of what I'm expecting for this, I don't normally have predictions and such, or heck, I don't even really necessarily know. I don't know what's going to happen in these. I'm expecting there may be a surprise game. I think they may add some more stuff to the Switch Online, which I think would make sense, because they're going to need to do something to probably beef that up a bit for the Switch 2. And methinks, English Jeremy, I think there could be an interesting addition to the Switch Online library, but I don't know what. I mean, look, Pokemon Day happened, there were no Pokemon games added, which is something that's been rumoured for frickin' ages. ideally that's something that you'd want, but I'm still going on the assumption that Legends ZA, will be a Switch 2 launch game, or will be within like the first quarter of the Switch 2 being released. That's just a personal feeling of mine. In terms of anything else, I'm just looking forward to this. I'll take it as it comes. I like to go into these things not really looking up rumours online or perhaps speculatory things. Just go in, see what happens, and we will figure out accordingly what is what. Oh, quick sidebar note, which this probably won't impact anything to do with the stream. It's more just in case you hear something. Because Nintendo decided to shadow drop this, as it were, and give us 24 hours notice, today, getting some new carpet installed in the house, which of course means building-based noise. So if occasionally you hear the sound of like a loud clanging sound of metal and whatnot, it's probably relating to that. I'm going to do my best to mute as I go and have like a mute button on standby. But if you happen to notice some random additional background noise, that is why that is. Matty Boo in the chat saying there'll be at least one and that just announced game is available now release. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. They may sort of do a shadow drop release, of which I do in a separate window have the Nintendo like eShop and the My Nintendo store on standby in case there's anything added to there, sort of as we go, or just pricing and such, and like various other websites and whatnot. Speaking of, actually, I say that because I mentioned the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I'm wondering if there will be more of an update on that, because currently, looking on Amazon UK, you still can't pre-order this thing physically. Which makes me wonder, I probably could have checked this before actually going live in hindsight, but this does make me wonder if maybe they're not going to do a physical in Europe for it, which would surprise me, and I'll pretty import one regardless. Also, if you want the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, the PS4 version, it's currently down to about 26 quid on Amazon UK, so there you go, folks. If you want a good offer, get that. So we shall see how this unfolds accordingly when it comes to that. What else could they have? Obviously, Metroid is another one that I've mentioned that has sort of been in the ether. Doubt there will be another Mario game, unless it's maybe like a redo of a previous one, or maybe something else added to Switch Online. That would be cool. Actually, you know what could be fun? And Nintendo won't do this because it isn't really their remit to do something like this. It would be really good fun if they almost teased something for next week. For the stream next week. Again, they'll never do that, and they don't. But it would be really fun if they just kind of went, oh, you may hear more about something relating to this next week. And that'll be like, ooh, what's it gonna be type thing. Because realistically, for the Switch 2, the first game's already been effectively shown in some form. It is Mario Kart. So we probably think that will be a launch game, is how I'm guessing. If it's not, that's a wild choice to show off Mario Kart first, quite frankly. But yeah, so again, just sort of chilling out, as it were. I hope you're all doing well today. In terms of other things going on in my realm of gaming and such, so here's a little bit of a tangent for something that's happened. So I like to meet up with friends of mine and play board games and such. Arsenal Simulator, second place forever. Oh, Moth Fox, you. But, yeah, in terms of games I've been playing, I've been on a very random kick this week, because I love going around to my mates at weekends, and like we have like every couple of weeks we try and do a big meet-up, play some board games, I'll just cook some great food and make a big old day of it. And one of the games we like to play is Ticket to Ride, which some of you may be familiar with. You've got to sort of build routes of trains and complete routes and such. And we're sort of doing a little thing throughout the year, kind of our own little like faux league, if you will, throughout the year of like who can win different games and such. And I decided to bring a curveball with me, and I brought my PS5 round, and on it I had the digital version of Ticket to Ride, which in multiplayer, you can, if you're doing local multiplayer, you can effectively use the Wi-Fi network to use your phone to be a controller for the layout and plugging in routes and stuff. So I said, oh, we're going to play Ticket to Ride, because it was my choice, because it's basically whoever sort of lost the previous game can choose, which I was always going to lose a game or two. And I went, oh, you know what? I'll surprise you. I want to play Ticket to Ride on the PS5, to which my mate was like, what? And then I went to the car, pulled out the PS5, plugged it in, loaded it up, and went, right, Let's all do this. And we actually had a really good time with it. There's a lot of good quality of life things compared to being on the actual board game that just made it a lot easier to digest sort of where you're at, how far for routes and stuff. You've got Japan, Heart of Africa. Because there was like there's currently, I think there might still be an offer on PSN for this at the moment, but you can get all of Ticket to Ride and all the DLC packs for like 20 quid or something. So I thought, sod it, I'll do that. And I've actually been playing that a fair lot in evenings, just like do a few games of those against the AI, get used to some of the other map ideas and whatnot. The Switzerland one is quite a good fun. And I want to say it's the Legendary Asia expansion. That's another one that I've sort of really been sinking my teeth into, and just really, really like how that one's built, the kind of limitations and stuff. So it is very, very good fun. But yeah, exactly. It is good fun, isn't it? It is good fun. But we've got 10 seconds here, so hopefully everything is set up accordingly for how I have put this together today. We shall see. With that being said, folks, let's direct.
Peggy 18.
Oh, stop the other music. There we go. Dragon Quest, right? I immediately recognize that key art. Because they've released Dragon Quest 3, I think it was, which I still want to play. So maybe this might be releasing to Dragon Quest 1 and 2 then. Hey, Nightbot, how you doing? Game footage in this video is not final. That's an interesting note. Hey, Beard, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the 1 and 2 releases are what I was thinking as well. I still never played a Dragon Quest game. I always want to. It's just there's just a big time sink. There's just anything with JRPGs on me, really. But I do love the look of this. Very true, Matty. Oh, hang on. Oh, I love this art. Yeah, there we go. 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. Yeah, I still might get 3 at some point, because that's a prequel to 1 and 2.
皆さん、こんにちは。
Hello.
任天堂ダイレクトの案内役を務めます高橋です。このダイレクトでは、任天堂スイッチで発売するタイトルの最新情報をお届けします。任天堂スイッチ2に関する情報は、
Oh, definitely, Matty,
4
definitely.
月2日に配信をしますので、こちらもぜひご覧ください。
It was kind of more them confirming it. I suppose it's going to be
最初
this
にご
year
覧い
thing.
ただいたのは、スクエア・エニックスさんから発売されるドラゴンクエスト1 and 2です。映像の最後には新たなキャラクターが確認で
Indeed,
きま
another
したが、
character appeared at the end.
一体どんな冒険が待っているのでしょうか。今後の続報にも
I know
ご期
not
待
of
く
what
ださ
that
い。
character is in relation to everything, but I
そ
like
れ
the
では
pose.
ヘッドラインをご覧ください。
First batch of headlines, here we go. Let's see what we have.
Escape from dire straits.
That sounds familiar. My audio is echoing. As in what? The...
Help me. Please help me, Dante.
Is that the video audio, Matty,
The
or
latest
something
entry
else?
in the The Somnium Files series is stirring. You are Kaname Date, a special agent with a sophisticated AI called Aiba embedded in his left eye.
I've adjusted a
Your
couple of things,
mission
hopefully that
is to
helps.
track down Iris, an internet idol who has been trapped in a mysterious escape game. Conduct interviews to investigate Iris's whereabouts. Dive into a subject's dreams to reveal clues hidden deep within their psyche. And solve mind-bending puzzles in an explorable environment. Everything you learn
try and
will
figure that
bring you
out.
one step closer to the truth. Uncover what's hidden in reality and dreams to rescue Iris. No Sleep for Kaname Date from The Somnium Files launches on Nintendo Switch July 25th.
I think it's alright on my end, to be honest,
Unleash
but
the
if it is, I'll try and do something else. That Iris game, though, interested in. I think that could be good fun, especially on stream. Detective and a devil summoner went to a bar.
A classic Atlas action RPG returns with remastered HD graphics and enhanced gameplay.
That's cool.
Set in the capital city in the year Taisho 20, Raido Kuzunoha makes his living as an apprentice detective. But unbeknownst to others, he also fights alongside demons as a devil summoner.
Of course.
To protect the capital, Raido must investigate a
that looks
series of
great.
supernatural cases. Fight in real-time battles alongside demons you summon. Work with your demons to strike an enemy's weak point, then follow up with a powerful attack. Cooperation is the key to victory. You can even turn opposing demons into allies.
I love the style
Demons
of this.
can also
This
be
looks so
useful
good.
outside of battle. And their powers are helpful
Exactly,
in finding
Moth Fox,
solutions
exactly.
during investigations. Guide Raido through a series of strange incidents
I assume you're the bird who gave us a call?
as he uncovers a conspiracy that will shake the capital to its core. Raido Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, launches on Nintendo Switch June 19th. Pre-orders begin later today
there
on
you go.
Nintendo eShop.
Pre-orders today. See that? I like that they're getting to go.
Consume darkness.
That they're getting to go back through the old catalogue of games, Atlas and such. It's a
With
really
your
nice touch.
memories gone, you have been summoned to a strange, unfamiliar world, where you're greeted by a yellow orb known as Puck.
Not Pac-Man.
But who is this spherical stranger? Moored in a mysterious, maze-like world, your battle for survival begins. As Puck guides you on your journey, you'll delve deeper into the expansive world. By
No, Matty,
examining
not a
your
problem at all. I had a
surroundings,
feeling that might be the case.
You can phase shift
all
and
good.
combine with Puck to explore areas you couldn't reach before.
It's literally Pac-Man, the Metroidvania, like you
Tread
said. It's
lightly.
literally it.
The creatures inhabiting this world will prove hostile. When facing imposing enemies, you and Puck can temporarily fuse into the Gaia form to unleash powerful attacks.
From Pac-Man to Evangelion? Alright, sure.
By consuming your prey, you'll collect resources that can then be used to enhance your abilities. Work to uncover Puck's true goal and devour enemies to survive this cruel world. Experience a dark twist on the iconic Pac-Man when Shadow Labyrinth launches on Nintendo Switch July 18th.
Got you, Matty, that
Rhythmic
makes
March
sense.
begins.
Yeah, the front page does that. I've had that before.
Remasters of Patapon and Patapon 2 are drumming onto Nintendo Switch as one bundle.
I've never played
Play your
Patapon,
drum to the
but I
beat
have
and
friends
give
who are
different
madly
commands
into
to
it.
the Patapon army. For example, Pata Pata Patapon advances them forward, while Pon Pon Patapon has them attack. And if you string together combos with good timing, the Patapons enter fever mode and get a big boost in power. From the horse-riding Kibapon to the shield-savvy Tatepon, build up your battalion to take on hordes of fierce foes. Plus, new features have been added, so you can advance to the beat of your own drum.
Interesting.
Lead the Patapons and march forth when Patapon 1+2 Replay launches on Nintendo Switch July 11th.
A lot of stuff in June, July time now, which was
Welcome
expected.
to Zephyr Town, a cozy place nestled in a windswept valley. This is where your new life begins.
Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar.
First cropping up on Nintendo DS, this immersive farming and life sim has no shortage of activities to get up to.
Oh, you must be the new farmer.
Tend to your farm while growing crops and caring for animals.
I've never played a Harvest Moon game, but I
Then sell your
remember
produce and
like the
other
cover
wares
art
at
and
the
stuff, and it
town's
is
weekly
very much
bazaar.
giving that kind of vibe.
As bazaar sales grow, you'll help the once famous market regain its former splendor.
Inspiring, honestly.
You can also get to know the locals
I'd like to spend more time with you.
and maybe nurture a relationship. if
That
you
escalated
find that
quickly.
Special someone. Plus,
I need to look into the
taking advantage
Luna
of
remake
Zephyr
now that you
Town's
mentioned,
windy
because they showed that off in a
conditions
previous
can make
direct, I seem to
travel
recall.
and other tasks
Or was that
a
State of Play?
breeze.
It's one or the other.
The winds of change are coming, and your new life on the farm begins when Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar launches on Nintendo Switch August 27th.
So we're into August territory now.
Begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
Does that give a clue for the Switch 2 launch
自然
window?
豊かなそよ風タウンを舞台にした牧場物語シリーズ最新作をお楽しみに。続いてはこちらの映像をご覧ください。
What we got? Here we go, Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime 4, they're showing it. What you got? I really want to check out these Metroid Prime games. I've never actually played them.
Is the unknown planet Vuros. Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center. In order to survive and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to, Samus must scan stone figures and other relics to carve
Very
a
true,
path
Matty, very
forward.
true. Is what I'm expecting to be saying very, very soon. Very, very soon, in case I got cut off there, sorry.
She's not alone, though. Abhorrent, alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
Might just be me, but some of like the architecture and the way things look,
Samus is granted
I'm getting
mysterious
Halo
and
vibes, which I'm
ancient
into.
powers. Psychic abilities. These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms and to open doors. They also allow her to control the trajectory of her beams with the power.
That's
of her
cool.
mind.
That's cool.
But why were these powers bestowed upon Samus?
Find out in the game. Chosen one, we welcome you.
And what
Did they ever make a Metroid Prime
will her
pinball
fate
game? Because that seems
after
dead
being
cert for
summoned
this.
to Vuros? The threads intertwining beyond space and time are beginning to weave a new tale.
They did bid, amazing. We place our faith in you. Chosen one. Oh? That is a cool piece of armor, that. Is that like a Dark Samus thing? Because wasn't that a thing?
今回も
In
様々
relation
な
to
試
the
練が
Prime
サ
games, I
ク
seem
セ
to
スを待ち受けているそ
recall.
うですが、新たな力、サイキック能力によって広がる探索にもぜひご期待ください。続いてヘッドラインをご覧ください。
Nice one. I missed the click.
Ready to stir up some mischief?
Sure.
Once upon a time, there was a drab coffee shop that transformed into a magical potion
I'm sorry,
cafe.
what?
As the newest potionista of the Cursed Cafe, you'll craft concoctions for Disney villains and get to know them in a new light. Mix ingredients to brew all sorts of strange elixirs. Then serve them to your villainous visitors, including Ursula and Gaston. With help from Yzma, you can upgrade your ingredients to produce some wildly wicked creations. The potions you make can influence each customer's storylines, leading to different outcomes every time you play. Who knows what mischief might happen? Disney Villains Cursed Cafe.
Today! Matty, you called it! Shadow
Switch
drop!
later today.
I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm game for that. I may not know most of them, but the villains I know, I
Summon
really
a
enjoy.
Spellbinding adventure. Welcome to Witchbrook College, where students strive to master the magical arts. During class, use magic circles to perform rituals, fly on brooms, and learn advanced techniques to go from witch in training to skilled spellcaster. There's also plenty to do outside of class. Hang out with friends at their homes.
Why ride a moped when I have a broom?
Take on various jobs to help pay for tuition. Or use the spells you've learned to craft and sell original items.
Interesting, Beard.
Plus, up to 4 players can make magic together in online co-op. Explore this whimsical world on the road to graduation and beyond. Are you ready for a spellbinding journey?
Oh, you can customize your interior if you've got Animal Crossing vibes, people.
Enrollment begins when Witchbrook flies onto Nintendo Switch this winter.
That looks like a really chilled game.
Action, adventure, and arcade games await.
Oh?
Set off on a fantastical mission to eliminate a mysterious deity.
The
In this
eternal life of
hand-drawn
Goldman.
platforming adventure, you'll explore an expansive archipelago where nightmares and wonder collide. Upgrade your trusty cane with magical parts. Then use its abilities to find your own path.
I'm getting
through the
serious, like,
enchanting
DuckTales
world.
vibes from
Can
this.
you uncover the secrets the archipelago holds? Find out when the Eternal Life of Goldman launches on Nintendo Switch this winter.
This looks really good fun.
Celebrate the 40th anniversary of Gradius with
I was
a
gonna say,
collection of
Gradius!
arcade shoot-'em-up games from across the series. Titles include Gradius, Salamander, Light Force, Gradius 2, Gradius 3, and Salamander 2. Some titles come with multiple versions,
That's
including
cool.
ones from different regions and launch years. Plus, take the
Interesting.
helm in a brand new entry, Salamander 3.
Oh, here's a brand new game as well.
Gradius Origins launches on Nintendo Switch August 7th.
I love these kind of
Pre-orders
games.
begin later today.
I love
on
these kind of
Nintendo
games.
eShop.
I'm just naff at them. So pre-orders
Battle
begin
to
later
the
today.
beat in Rift of the Necro Dancer. Press the corresponding buttons
God.
in each lane to fight monsters in rhythm-based combat.
I'm in.
Keep the cadence going with epic boss battles,
Yes.
quirky minigames, remix stages, and global leaderboards. Plus, more musical mayhem awaits in the Celeste Music Pack paid DLC. And be on the lookout for more DLC in the future. Rift of the Necro Dancer
I'm in.
launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
I agree, Matty. But don't forget, it's backward compatible as well to
Let's
Switch
see
to.
what's in store.
Wait. No.
Welcome to Tamagotchi Plaza, a brand new entry in the Tamagotchi Connection series.
We're getting any
There
Tamagotchi
are
game?
stores galore. Design glasses at the eyewear shop. Polish pearly whites solo or with a friend at the dentist. And arrange plates at the afternoon tea shop. 12 wonderful stores need your help. Provide good customer service to get high ratings and upgrade each shop. In doing so, you'll get to meet more Tamagotchi, making the town livelier than before. With over 100 new and classic Tamagotchi, business is sure to be booming.
New and classic.
Get ready to set up shop when Tamagotchi Plaza launches on Nintendo Switch
That makes sense,
June
Matty.
27th.
Joe, there's a nice little sort of spread of mix of games that they're showing off right now. Oh. Legends are.
Welcome to Pokemon
They're showing
Legends
more of this?
ZA, a new title in the Pokemon series. You'll begin your adventure by choosing one of 3 partner Pokemon. The setting is this metropolis that also appeared in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, Lumio City.
There we go.
To make it easier for people and Pokemon to coexist, a company named Quasartico Inc. is carrying out an urban redevelopment plan. Here, we'll get a glimpse into the lives of the Pokemon and people of Lumio City.
Espeon confirmed.
Scattered all over town are wild zones. These areas are special environments where wild Pokemon can live comfortably, even within the city.
So we're getting the more details that we were interested in.
You can catch Pokemon here, but they might be hostile. If you sense trouble, get to safety.
Oh, I should have said prepare for double.
There are Pokemon that live outside wild zones too. Some of them can even be found on rooftops.
Okay, so they've confirmed that then. That it's not
People
just
and
wild zones where you
Pokemon
find
live
them.
easygoing lives in Lumio City. But when night falls,
Oh?
the city's aura transforms.
What?
Highly skilled trainers are invited to participate in a tournament, the ZA Royale.
I love
Trainers
this.
await in battle zones.
That's a nice
If you're
twist
spotted,
about
they'll
things.
challenge you to battle. Strike first before being seen, and you'll land a surprise attack. During battles, using a super effective move at the right moment is key. And with Mega Evolution, some Pokemon can power up even more. You'll start at rank Z and work your way up to rank A.
Okay. Clever on the
Trainers
naming
who reach the
convention.
top are said to have a wish granted.
Yeah, exactly, Beard. When they showed that little teaser at the end, the ZA Royale, or the ZA Royale as I'm probably going to call it.
Day
ZA
and
Royale.
night are 2 sides to Lumio City. It seems there are even more secrets waiting to be uncovered. What will you find on your adventure? Pokemon Legends ZA launches on Nintendo Switch later this year.
Late 2025 implies
本
Q4 to
作の
me.
舞台リアレシティでは昼と夜の雰囲気が一変していましたが、この街に
I
はまだ
love
ま
this
だ
as a
秘
game
密があり
mechanic
そう
though.
ですね。今後の続報をお待ちください。続いてはこちらの映像をご覧ください。
I was not expecting a Legends Zara update, so...
Hello there.
Hello?
The game you're about to see boop, doesn't have a big, epic story. Boop. But what it does have is lots of funny little rhythm games.
Oh?
You wanna see?
Yes.
Just press the button to jump through the ring. Boop. It sounds easy.
See, that's difficult because of the angle you're
but
looking
the
at.
timing is super tricky. Boop. Maybe you could try it in time to a rhythm. In this game, you might do almost anything, but you will need to do it in rhythm.
The This potentially feels like quite a Jeremy
You might
game.
even be able to play it with your eyes closed.
Get into the rhythm.
I wanna
with a
crush
brand
cans
new
of
entry in
Coke.
the Rhythm Paradise series. Rhythm Paradise Groove.
2026.
シリーズ完全新作のリズム天国ミラクルスターズが登場します。つんくさんがプロデュースする楽曲ももちろんたくさん収録されています。さて、どんなリズムを刻んでいくのでしょうか。どうぞお楽しみに。続いてはご購入いただいたダウンロードソフトの扱い方についての
Oh,
お知ら
news
せが
about
あ
the
ります。
news about the use of digital games on your console? Okay. What are you about to do, Nintendo?
With game cards, you can put a
Yes.
game featuring Mario in this Nintendo Switch console and a Legend of Zelda game in this one,
True.
freely inserting the games you have on hand into any console you want.
True.
But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards?
Go on.
Well, here's what we came up with. Introducing the virtual game card. In the future, virtual game cards can be used for digital games.
Okay.
When purchasing the digital version of a game, it will be loaded onto your console as a virtual game card, allowing you to play that title.
Okay. That's what you do
Your
already.
digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen. Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your console.
That screenshot just then said a lot. Hang on. Yeah, this is what they just alluded to in that quick
If you
screenshot.
have two Nintendo Switch consoles, you can eject a virtual game card from one and load it onto the
Internet
second.
connection is required only
Now
when
you
loading
can
or
play this
ejecting.
game on the second console wherever and whenever you want, just as if you had inserted a physical game card.
Okay.
With virtual game cards, you can freely load and arrange which games you play on up to two consoles.
Okay.
Local communication with your second console is required, but only the first time.
Right. Yeah, this is the next
You
thing
can
I was
also
about to
lend out
say.
virtual game cards to your Nintendo account, family group
From a
members.
family point of view, this
Connect
could
to
be
your
very
family group
useful.
member's console via local wireless when you want to lend a game. Choose the title you're lending and who you're lending it to.
That's a good feature.
And you're done. They can now play on their own console. You can only lend one game at a time to a particular person.
Okay.
Games can be lent out for 2 weeks, after which they will automatically return to you,
Okay, fair.
making digital games even easier to use. Virtual Game Card.
ご覧いただいたバーチャルゲームカードは任天堂スイッチでのやり取りはもちろん
It's a very Nintendo way about going about this,
スイ
though.
ッチ2とのやり取りも可能になります
Ah, there you go. That's the key
バーチャル
detail,
ゲーム
isn't
カー
it?
ドは4月下旬の本体更新で対応予定です
Be added in late
それで
April.
は引き続きヘッドラインをご覧ください
So you could do it with Switch 2 consoles as well. Interesting. Hey Harry, I hope you're doing well. To be fair, Harry, it was only announced yesterday, so I don't blame you. Dear Villagers Star Overdrive. They showed a bit of this before, I think, and I was very interested in it because of the surfing element. Strathorn Studios, The Wandering Village. King of Meat! King of Meat! Lose Lagoon. That looks good fun. Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time.
Uncover history once more.
Oh?
An HD remaster of Saga Frontier 2 is venturing on to Nintendo Switch.
Sure.
Meet Gustav, the royal heir, and Will the explorer. Two heroes whose fates and legacies will intertwine across generations in this epic RPG.
I'm sure I've heard of this franchise before, but I'm more familiar with, is it Romancing
Experience
Saga?
the original story,
I think.
along with brand new events that expand the vibrant world of
Catch you,
Sondale.
Matty.
Plus, team up with more characters in battle. And transfer stats to allies through the parameter inheritance system.
The what, sorry? The parameter
After
inherited
finishing
system.
the main story, you can test your mettle and might against even more powerful bosses. What histories will you uncover through the ages?
Philippe!
Saga Frontier 2 Remastered.
Released today.
Launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
They're going very heavy on the JRPG remakes at the moment, aren't they? Which is a great thing.
Monumental adventures await.
Oh?
Embark on peaceful journeys across this series of
Thank you,
beautiful
Beard. That
puzzle
makes more
games.
sense.
Wander through isometric worlds filled with stunning landscapes to manipulate.
I'm surprised they didn't keep that
optical
naming
illusions to
convention a little
discover,
bit. Or
and
kind of reference it.
mystifying secrets to unfold. In Monument Valley, lead the silent Princess Ida in her quest for forgiveness while outsmarting the enigmatic Crow people.
Oh, this
A
looks...
different journey awaits in Monument Valley 2. Guide Ro in her adventure through motherhood as she and her child unlock the secrets of the sacred geometry. Both games contain all their additional chapters, add-ons, and DLC. The first two Monument Valley games
I'd love to
launch
give
on
it a try.
Nintendo Switch April 15th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo
So it's
eShop.
what, 2 weeks away, give or take?
And help Noor on her journey to restore the world's light in Monument Valley 3, setting sail on Nintendo Switch this summer.
I'm going all in on the Monument Valley, that's cool. Golf? But whose golf? Kawaii!
A brand new entry in the
Yes, everybody's golf.
series is driving onto Nintendo Switch. Aim, time your button press just right, and take your shot.
Nice shot.
Yes.
Perform backspins, side spins, and other special shots
Perform backspin, what a phrase.
in the single-player challenge mode. Compete in tournaments and face off against a range of rivals to become the ultimate golfer. In Wacky Golf, your shots could get pulled into holes, or obstacles might fall. It's golf that's not quite par for the course. Up to
not
4
quite par for the
golfers can
course.
hit the fairway together locally or in online play.
This could be a fun online
So
sort of
just
party
relax.
game, I can imagine it.
And get ready to tee off. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots lands on Nintendo Switch this year.
Kind of like, if you imagine like a Mario Party stream, imagine it with everybody's golf. I imagine it could be quite a fun, chill time, actually. And very frustrating. Marvel? Captain America?
Unite some of Marvel's greatest superheroes in the fight against evil. Pair up 2 heroes from the roster of 15, including the likes of the spectacular Spider-Man and the ferocious Wolverine to take on the challenge. From close quarters combatants to aerial aces, you can mix and match a
Mate,
variety
I'm
of
well up
heroes
for
for
this.
an amazing array of possibilities. And swap between your team of 2 at any time. Take advantage of your team's strengths to overwhelm your foes. Plus, up to 4 players can assemble for local
Mate.
or online co-op play.
Yes!
The battle for the fate of the Marvel Universe begins when Marvel Cosmic Invasion launches on Nintendo Switch this winter.
Count me in.
マーベルのスーパーヒーローたちがタッグを組んで立ち向かうマーベルコズミックインベージョンをお楽しみ。次が最後のタイ
Good
トル
point,
にな
Moth
ります
Fox. Yeah, good point.
こちらの映像をご覧ください。
Last announcement, I think it just said. Please take a look. Hang on.
How refreshing.
That's a gif. It's happening! It's happening! Harriet, you are literally living the dream right now. Coming 2026. Huh?
You called?
That is an accurate representation of me in real life, by the way. Me running towards people.
It was just a dream.
約10年ぶりとなるシリーズ最新作友達コレクションワクワク生活が
The
登場し
first
ます
new entry in over
映
10
像では
years.
海に浮かぶ島にミーたちの暮らす様子が見られましたがさて今回はどんな人間模様が繰り広げられるのでしょうか今後の続報にご期待くださいここまで任天堂ダイレクトをご視聴いただきあ
Thank
り
you for
がとう
watching
ござい
today's
ます
Nintendo Direct so far.
最後に新しいゲームの発表ではありません
Something
が
a little
お知らせがあ
different
ります
that's not a
宮
game.
本さんに紹介していただきます
こんにちは、
Oh.
宮本です。任天堂ダイレクトをご覧いただきありがとうございます。任天堂ダイレクトは2011年に直接お客様に任天
Okay.
堂の情報をお届けすることを目指して誕生しました。そして今では世界中のたくさんの人に見ていただいています。本当にありがとうございます。
You're welcome.
任天堂ダイレクトはこれからも継続していきますが、直接お届けするコンセプトをもとに新たな情報チャンネルを始めます。それは日替わりカレンダーのような任天堂トゥデイというモバイルアプリです。
What?
任天堂のいろんなイベントが確認できるようになっていて、任天堂のゲームやキャラクターに関するニュースとちょっと楽しいコンテンツを毎日日替わりでお届けします。来週4月2日の任天堂スイッチ
After
2
Nintendo
ダイレクトの
Direct
配
Switch 2
信後からは
presentation on the 2nd of
この任
April.
天堂トゥデイでもスイッチ2の最新情報を毎日
So it's launching next week
お届
effectively.
けしていきますよ。任天堂トゥデイはこのダイレクトが終了
Oh,
して
it's
から
going to be available today.
配
There you
信を
go. Good. Nintendo today.
任天堂アカウントがあればどなたでもお使いいただけるアプリなので気軽にダウンロードしてみてください。私からのお知らせは以上になります。ぜひ任天堂トゥデイを使ってみてください。
本日のダイレクトは以上です最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました
Makes sense, Matty. There you go. I guess that's it. That was the Nintendo Direct. That was actually a good, fun Direct. I'm sure there will be certain people out there who will say, there wasn't this and that. But honestly, that was just good fun. It really was. I'm just going to sort of skim through some bits and bobs as we go now. Where were we? So yeah, we kicked off with Dragon Quest. I'll mute that. I'll put some other music on now. There we go. So yeah, kicked off with Dragon Quest, the 1 and 2 remake. Then we had a look at... Oh, we're still talking about that, sorry. Yeah, then this one, I want to have a look at this trailer again, actually. So bear with me, I'm gonna scroll back a bit further, so let me get the volume up. Let's have a look at this one again. Because I'm very curious of this one. I just saw your comment, bit.
Oxygen 0.
Help me. Please help me, Dante!
The
No
latest
sleep,
entry
Konami
in the
Date.
I, the Somnium Files series is stirring. You are Kaname Date, a special agent with a sophisticated AI called Aiba embedded in his left eye. Your mission is to track down Iris, an internet idol who has been trapped in a mysterious escape game. Conduct interviews to investigate Iris's whereabouts. Dive into a subject's dreams to reveal clues hidden deep within their psyche. and solve mind-bending puzzles in an explorable environment.
I'm definitely up for this. I thought I was at the
Everything you learn
time,
will bring you one step
but I do want to
closer
check this
the
out.
truth.
Choice!
Uncover what's hidden in reality and dreams to rescue Iris. No Sleep for Kaname Date from The Somnium Files launches on Nintendo Switch July 25th.
Yeah, so that was good. That was a good thing for the trailer. And then we had, of course, if you want to go a bit further, show me the title. There you go, Raido Remastered. Which again, not familiar with it, but it's cool to see a lot of this stuff getting the opportunity to be brought back. Then following that, we had... there we go, Shadowlet. This was the Pac-Man Vania one. Pac-Man Evangelion style, as I remember calling it. Then we had the Patapon remakes, or redos, whatever the phrase is. Had the Story of Seasons trailer, Grand Bazaar. Then this was Metroid Prime. Which, yeah, giving me a lot of Halo vibes, the way this looks, which is not a bad thing by any means. Then Psychic Abilities were shown. Then it was... yeah, this freaking Disney Cafe one. I want to check this out. This seems like it could be a good laugh. Disney Villains Curse Cafe. That could be good fun. Then we got Witchbrook, I think it was. Sort of the very chilled out. Just a very chilled vibe, as it were. After that, it was The Eternal Life of Goldman, which was giving me DuckTales vibe. This looks good fun. Just on the surface level, I'm getting proper old school DuckTales game vibes. I'm well up for trying this. Then we got the Gradius collection, with the various things included in there, which I am curious of, to say the least. Now this one, I do want to check this out again. Rift of the Necrodancer. This game sounds like it was made for me, quite frankly. I definitely want to check this out. I haven't actually played the Crypt of the Necrodancer games, but Rift of the Necromancer, I'm more than up for trying. I know there's a Zelda version of Crypt of the Necrodancer as well, which I've been told I would really enjoy. Oh, you must own Rift of the Necrodancer European version, because we're watching the UK feed. On Nintendo Switch to access the content, makes sense. Then after that, we got... I can't remember the name of this one now. There we go. Oh yeah, Tamagotchi Plaza. Trying not to confuse that with Tomodachi. Then we had the Legend ZA update. So, the update for this, I wasn't expecting one on this stream, to be quite frank. So, amazing, Harriet. Amazing. I've just seen your message, sorry. So yeah, the update for this, the fact we're getting a day and night cycle that are polar opposites, I really like that. The fact that they're going to be showing off the fact you go to the wild areas during the day and you can catch Pokemon, but then as they elaborate, I don't know if I skim forward a bit. So yeah, we go to the wild areas, you can catch Pokemon during the day in these places, and they also confirmed you can catch some outside of these wild areas as well. But then, if we then go to, where was it? You go to nighttime, it then changes to become effectively a giant sort of trainer battle zone. The ZA Royale, I think they called it. The ZA Royale. It sort of becomes a tournament. And that's what this teaser was at the end of the previous thing as well. And this is where you could fight trainers and stuff. And you have to work your way up from being at level Z, i.e. the lowest rank, to A rank. I assume they might do some kind of extra rank above A. I don't know, they can't really call it S rank because that's quite low down in the alphabet. But I do like this as an idea, just really, really good fun. And I think there's a lot of possibility with how far this could go. I really, really like that idea as a concept. And then they showed off also the Mega Evolution of Alakazam, which I've never seen before, so that caught me off guard. Then we got this fun rhythm game, which is that was Rhythm Paradise Groove. That's what this one was, which would be good fun. Then they showed off the virtual card idea, which it's again, like I said, it's a very A-star, good shout, Beard, good shout. So the virtual card idea, it is something that a few friends of mine who have got kids, this is a problem that they have had, in that when it comes to transferring stuff between consoles, it can be very difficult, because I think it's within a Nintendo account, you need to have a console that's deemed the primary console, as it were, and that kind of supersedes everything, and that can cause some problems with loading up games and maybe certain save files and stuff. So this seems like a very logical way of being able to link a couple of consoles together via, in an account sense, and then you can just like lend the cartridges. It makes sense. I'm sure there are certain things where I'm like, could you not just do this instead? But the fact that they've also indicated this is how you can then move games between Switch 1 and Switch 2, that will be interesting. I'm also curious how this will impact things in relation to, I mentioned like the primary console as a thing. I'll be very curious to see how, if you have a Switch 2 as your primary console, how that may or may not impact certain things. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see probably next week, I assume. But on the surface level, this is something that makes total sense. You can assign games to certain consoles and whatnot. I think that actually does make sense within the framework of Nintendo wanting to keep things very much in a closed ecosystem form, if that makes sense from a wording point of view. So a family group, up to 8 Nintendo account users connected together into a family group. So does that mean 8 consoles if they say a family group? I think that's another interesting detail, because they only really implied 2 consoles. But so this was the first screenshot. Let me try and freeze it when I mentioned it. So this one, when they showed this, that was when I suddenly went, that's a big detail there. Load on another system, lend to another family member. Now, the load on another system phrasing could be interesting to see how far people may go with that. What it also potentially means, though, as well, and this is me thinking a little bit outside of the box here, let's take a game like Pokemon. I'll leave that playing. Let's take a game like Pokemon, for example. Obviously, I've got my copy of Violet, but what if I had a copy of Scarlet as well, but I can't trade between the two because I've only got one console? Now, one would say, when the Switch 2 is coming out, I'm gonna get one. I didn't really know what I was gonna do with my Switch 1 console, but this would be a way of being able to trade between 2 consoles, I assume. Potentially. I don't know. But that's kind of my immediate thought, is if there's like games like that could have 2 consoles involved, this could help tremendously in being able to sort of work around that if you don't have access to other people playing the game and such. So, random thoughts in my brain. But yeah, in terms of the next games, we got, there was the Hunk of Meat game, whatever it was called. King of Meat was one of them. So yeah, High on Life was the first game, which has got a very nice, weird vibe to it. Then we had King of Meat. Here we go. This just looks like a bunch of nonsense. Good nonsense, I should add. I'm up for it. Lose Lagoon, I love the look and feel of this. It's just got a vibe that is really sort of speaking to me. I do want to try it. This one, I don't know. It sort of didn't speak amazingly to me at first, but I'm sure there are loads of people who disagree and can tell me why. Then we got there's this Saga Frontier, that was it, sorry. Okay, Beard, thank you very much for the clarification on that. So yeah, then we got the Saga Frontier remake, whichever it is, which, as Beard pointed out, I believe it was Beard, apology if I'm incorrect on that, these were released in the West as Final Fantasy Legends. So I never actually put 2 and 2 together on that, so thank you for clarifying that. Curious on these, actually. Like I said, I've never actually played them, so if I ever get time, I could add to it. Now, this I'm interested in. Monument Valley and Monument Valley 2, and of course Monument Valley 3. I've never played these. This gives me... what was that game? Is it Fez? That kind of... It's not exactly the same, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Kind of a Fez type vibe. So... I am curious, because I love the idea of Fez, but it was a bit too big brain for me, to put it bluntly. So I'm curious to check these out. I might try and do that at some point, be it on stream or off stream. We will see. Again, lifetime depends, as in life of time I have available depends, or time of life. You know what I mean. So yeah, Monument Valley, good stuff there. Now, everybody's golf. I think, again, game footage, not final, it should be said. I think this could be really good fun for like multiplayer parties. Again, I mentioned Mario Party as an example where you've got 4 people. This could be a way of having more people together playing something, and I think that could be really good fun on stream, especially if you can do 2v2v2 stuff, which I'm fairly sure in this trailer. Well, let's try and look on a bit further on this. I'm pretty sure they showed off. If that thumbnail wants to look, that'd be really helpful. Try and skim forward a bit. You can perform backspin was the phrase they said. But let me try and find that moment where they showed off the menu. That was it. So, you have like all of that stuff. So yeah, you can see here, you've got a lot of players there. Now, interestingly, I'm not sure if all of those people are human players. What does it say at the top? The internet connection required for online to use online service. You must create a Nintendo account and agree to the agreement. Okay, requires online play requires paid online membership. Yeah, that's part of it. Okay, so it's not entirely clear there as to whether you could do 8 players there online at any one time. It might still just be a 4, but you can be 2 people, and maybe if you've got someone else in the room with you, that's one way of handing it off. But either way, I think there is a good possibility there for a nice alternative multiplayer party style game. So I'm definitely curious in checking that out. We shall see accordingly. Then after that, we got the Marvel game. Cosmic Invasion it was. Which, as was mentioned earlier in the chat, actually, I can't remember who said it. I might try and quickly scroll up and try and find it. But someone mentioned it sort of had the Pride of the X-Men vibe, which was the animated series pilot. Forgive me if I can't find who said that. He says trying to scroll through the chat quickly to find the comment. No, I can't find the comment, sorry. But I did see it, so thank you for saying that. But yeah, like, this has got... I love this vibe. It's just... I want to play this. It was Matty, was it, Harriet? Thank you very much for confirming. So, yeah, I want to play this. I know you do too, Harriet. I'm sure a bunch of us want to who are watching this. But yeah, Cosmic Invasion this winter, count me in. It's got that old school, quite a big kind of beat-em-up vibe to it, as it were. Also, just got a good style about it as well, quite frankly. Then we got... Now, this was Tomodachi Life, which I can only imagine how Harriet was trying to contain excitement. As it were, amongst other people. But yeah, it's cool they're doing this. I didn't play the original, admittedly, so I'm not very au fait with this, but it's cool to see that they're bringing it back. And one makes you wonder? One thinks, or ponders, there we go, how the Switch 2 may help this tremendously in terms of how much it can cope with and do, because they didn't specifically say a console, you'll notice. They specifically said 2026. One would assume this would be Switch 2 specific. That's what I'm gonna go for. It wouldn't surprise me if sans the new Mario Kart, which they showed in the initial Switch 2 trailer, if you will, the first time look thing from about a month or so ago, it wouldn't surprise me if Tomodachi Life ends up being technically as well one of the very first Switch 2 games, as it were. Then if we skim forward a bit more, and yeah, then we've got this app. We've got Nintendo Today, the app. Which, you know what? It actually makes sense they're doing something like this. And it could be fun if there's like a way of maybe having Nintendo-based notifications on your phone as well. Kind of like how they did that Alarmo clock, like, what was it, late last year or something? And that was almost maybe like, you could imagine how else they could do that. And I think this could be very good fun and a fun way just to get Nintendo news. It'd be interesting to see how creative Nintendo could get using this app to their advantage. So, very, very curious to see how this all ultimately unfolds. And yeah, the app is available later today. In fact, you know what? Let me quickly go on my phone. Let me see if it's here. Give me a few seconds. That'd be really useful if my thing wants to load up. So, Nintendo today. Is it there? It is not there yet. Confirmed. It is not there. But yeah, so overall, I think that was a very good Direct. Just a good laugh, a nice mixture of things. And you know what? It's got me excited once again for next week, which I was already excited about, to say the least. Just knowing that the Switch 2 is going to be announced, we're going to get loads of details. In terms of a lineup of games that they've announced for, well, let's call it like another quarter of this year, effectively, there's a decent amount of things there to tide you over. But also, when you think about all the other stuff that's been announced already, this end of Switch lineup, advancing, graduating, whatever the phrase will probably be, into the Switch 2 generation, it's still going to be strong. And it wouldn't surprise me, based on this, if they don't announce a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 games next week, but they maybe just have a really core, strong lineup of maybe 5 or 6 games for the first month or 2 months of the console, and then they can like powder in a lot of these Switch 1 games, which maybe can get an enhancement or something being on Switch 2, who knows? Because, you know, most of these games looked really good in the footage, but there was one in particular, can I find it quickly, that stood out to me in terms of how it looked versus the other games? Which one was it? I'm clutching at straws here. It wasn't the Story of Seasons, because that looks really clean. It was another game like it. Had like a farmy vibe to it, I think. It was a short trailer, admittedly. Was it part of this section? Sorry, pardon me for just skimming through in this manner. I can't find it, but there was one game where I just kind of thought, oh, that doesn't look as crisp as the other footage we're looking at. Wonder if something else happened there, but that's a screenshot. But can I find it? No, I can't. But there you go. Enjoy a screenshot of Tepic there. But yeah, so you know what, folks? No, honestly, Ben, I think Metro looked alright. It was I'm gonna see if I can find it now, because there was one game in particular just looked a little bit, I don't want to say rough, but visually I was like, oh, that doesn't, like, compared to the other stuff, it just didn't stand out to me, or didn't look as clean. It may have just been when they were showing off a bunch of games quickly. It might have had I in the title, like AI as part of the title. I'm literally just skimming through. Fantasy Life I, yeah, that might have been it. Now you say that name, yeah, that was what I think that was one game where, like, visually I was kind of a bit, oh, what's happened there? Can I find it as I just try and scroll through the thumbnail? Towards the end, was it? Perfect. Should have just kept going. Come on, nope, that's that. Where was it? Let's have a look. Yeah, so we got Star Overdrive, looks really clean. Wandering Village looks really clean. King of Meat looks clean. Lose Lagoon. Yeah, this was it here. So you go from the Lose Lagoon. This looks really crisp and whatnot. Looks really, really good. Then suddenly we get to this. And it just feels a bit. It feels in the footage just a bit clunky. I don't know. There's something about it. It just feels a little bit off. I don't know if it's just my eyes. But do tell me if I'm talking codswallop. Like, if you compare it to this, for example, we're looking at Lose Lagoon. It looks vibrant. Yeah, the frame rate drops. Good shout. There's definitely something up about the footage of this game here, Fantasy Life I, and I can't put my finger totally on it. The frame rate is probably a good shout, but there's just something about it that feels off, just based on that footage alone. But out of everything, that's the only thing in this entire presentation that seems to feel like that. And there you go. Carry on playing with this, playing this in the background, phrasing. But yeah, so I think on that note, folks, I'm going to start to wrap up here. And as you can see on the screen there, Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2, 2nd of April, next Wednesday. I will be doing a watch along to that. Hopefully Felf can join me, will depend on work and stuff, but we shall see. In terms of the stream schedule for the remaining, the next week or so, Back tomorrow night, Friday evening from 7 PM UK. I will be with Felf. We'll be doing Ace Attorney 2 Case 3, our part 5 of the playthrough of that, my first time playing the game. And then we will be watching the original Nintendo Switch presentation from Japan when they showed off the console for the first time, talked about what it was going to have. Kind of want to get that in the brain ahead of the Switch 2 announcement so we can see kind of how it compares, things they've changed, maybe the way they've messaged stuff. Will be an interesting case study in some ways. Then, of course, Wednesday next week, Switch 2 Direct on Wednesday afternoon from 2 PM UK. I'll be live about 10-15 minutes beforehand just to make sure things are all set up and such. And then on Friday evening, April the 4th, it will be us continuing, myself and Felf, Ace Attorney 2 Case 3. And no doubt we'll be talking some things, other things about the Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 as well that hasn't already come up, or more news after the fact, we shall see. But I hope you've enjoyed this stream. Thank you so much for joining. If you did enjoy it, tell a friend. Be nice if people checked it out and such. But otherwise, until the next stream, that being tomorrow night, he says, continuously looking at the calendar thinking it's Wednesday. I've been Jeremy. Thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely rest of your day. Let us know what you think in the comments and such, in the chat and whatnot. When we see you next time, it has been wonderful. You can tell I'm kind of saying a little bit of wordy words because I can see someone's trying to flag me out the corner of my eye, and I'm going to now end the stream so they can talk to me and tell me what's happened. Hopefully the carpet replacement is okay. I shall find out. Folks, thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.